Coming up, St. Vincent and the Grenadines have sworn in a new cabinet. We take a look at the OECS UBEC project. The Modern Port Operations Company describes the new procedure on how to clear your cargo, and Romanian scholarship recipients announced at the 2025 Memorandum of Understanding signing. Good evening, I am Sylvester Lynch, and those are the stories making up this evening's presentation of the API's Iron Government Program, where we bring to you the latest on government's plans, projects and policies. But first, we go to our news desk with Tonisha Thomas.
Good evening and welcome to Newswatch. I am Tonisha Thomas. December 19th is declared as a VAT-free shopping day. Prime Minister Dr. The Honorable Godwin Friday made the announcement on Tuesday, noting the initiative was delayed because of the transition into government. There are expected to be at least 2 VAT-free shopping days in each year.
To help with the cost of living crisis, we have committed to reducing the VAT and to have VAT-free shopping days. The first of which will be on the 19th of this month. We will continually look for ways to ease the economic burden that is being borne by our people. Where there are challenges, we intend not to succumb, but to overcome them.
The Public Health Department is requesting that all persons desirous of slaughtering food animals for human consumption for the Christmas season to contact the Environmental Health Officer for their district or call the Public Health Department to register and to receive the requirements for slaughtering. It must be noted that the dressing of carcass should be done under hygienic conditions, for example, in a manner approved by the department. Meat must not be exposed to direct elements of weather, sun and rain, and should also be protected against contaminants, dust, flies, etc. Please be advised that the pursuant of the Public Health Act No. 9 of 1977, no person shall sell or expose for sale or bring into any market or have in his possession any meat for man, in a tainted, adulterated, diseased, or unwholesome state, or which is not fit for food. Therefore, meat that is being offered for sale that was not inspected by a health officer or which have not met the requirements of the Public Health Department will be subjected to condemnation. All slaughtermen and butchers are also advised to ensure that they have a valid food handler's certificate. The Training Division of the Personnel Department held its annual National Scholarships Orientation at the conference room of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs on Wednesday, December 3, 2025. The scholars were introduced to the training officers, Mrs. Kate Ann Burge and Mrs. Petron George, and heard brief congratulatory remarks from the Chief Personnel Officer, Mrs. Arlene Regisford Sam. The information session was facilitated by the Director of Training, Dr. Arlene Kane Solin, who walked the scholars through the scope of their awards and the bonding process. Once again, the department expresses hearty congratulations to all the scholars and look forward to their meaningful contributions to national development. The Fisheries Division held a stakeholder consultation and validation workshop on the draft Sargassum Management Plan earlier today. The workshop, organized under the United Nations Development Program project for improving national sargassum management capacities in the Caribbean, which aims to enhance national capacity for effective sargassum management in the Eastern Caribbean. This workshop presents a valuable opportunity to review, provide input, and validate the draft management plan developed through cooperative efforts. Since 2011, episodic sargassum influxes have had a significant impact on and pose environmental challenges across the Caribbean. The project supports 5 small islands developing states with equipment, expertise, and technical knowledge to better manage sargassum inundations, therefore supporting marine conservation and coastal community resilience. That's all we have for Newswatch. The API Ion government continues with Sylvester Lynch.
Thank you, Tanisha. Welcome back. Tonight, we take you on a powerful and historic moment in our nation's democratic journey. Following the recent swearing ceremony and Thanksgiving service, St. Vincent and the Grenadines has officially ushered in a new cabinet, one tasked with charting the direction of our country for the years ahead. From the solemnity of the oaths to the stirring musical performances and the strong spiritual charge delivered to our leaders, the event captured the spirit of unity, renewal, and national pride. Prime Minister Dr. Godwin Friday also outlined his administration's vision and the mandate entrusted to the new team by the Vincentian people. We now bring you a special feature capturing the highlights of this celebratory occasion, one filled with purpose, emotion, and the promise of a fresh beginning for St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
In the heart of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, at the Arnisvale playing field, a new chapter rises. A moment marked not only by ceremony, but by hope, unity, and the promise of renewed leadership. On this historic day, the nation proudly witnessed the swearing-in of the new cabinet, leaders entrusted with guiding our people, shaping our future, and carrying forward the enduring Vincentian spirit. But the celebration did not end there. As the sun dipped and the nation gathered, a powerful Thanksgiving ceremony filled the air with praise, purpose, and a deep sense of gratitude.
Bigger than all my faith, God is. Say, yeah.
Pastor Brent delivered a stirring charge, a call for service grounded in integrity, humility, and unwavering dedication, a reminder that leadership is not only a title, but a sacred responsibility to the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. He challenged the newly appointed ministers to lead boldly, to serve selflessly, and to carry out their duties with honor and conviction.
Number 1, the prophet said to do justly. Justice is more than fairness. It is the commitment to treat every Vincentian, rich or poor, from tongue or country, young or old, Labour or NDP, with equality and dignity. I charge you this afternoon to ensure that the decisions that you make uplift the vulnerable, protect the marginalized, and confront any system that creates or perpetuates inequality. Let justice be your compass, your guide for all your policies, your priorities, your distribution of national resources. Number 2, the prophet says to love mercy. I am sure that when people hurt us, the easiest thing to do is to seek revenge. Am I talking truth? Mercy calls leaders to be an honest heart and a compassionate spirit. Let integrity be your constant companion, unbending, unbought, and unbroken. May you speak truth even when it is inconvenient. Choose transparency even when secrecy is easier. And extend compassion even when criticism comes quickly.
Prime Minister Dr. Godwin Friday delivered a defining message, laying out the vision for a new direction, a renewed mission, and a government committed to opportunity, fairness, and national renewal. He spoke of a path forward, stronger communities, better governance, economic stability, and a nation united in purpose, a call to rise together, to build together, to dream together.
Even as we are being sworn in as ministers of government, we must remember It all started for each of us by first being elected by the voters of our respective communities. They elected us not as ministers, but as their representatives. We must never forget this. And if we do so at our peril. So my colleagues, I remind you again, stay close to the people. Be accessible. Be attentive. Be a friend before you are a minister. To you, our people, thank you again for the immense trust you have placed in us. I am honored to serve as your Prime Minister. I am humbled by the trust you have placed in me. I know I am here to serve you. I beg you, don't ever let me forget that. High office should not increase the distance between the people and those whom they have chosen to represent them. Rather, it should provide opportunity to affect more lives for the better. So it is all the more important that we remain close and connected to the people, seeing their problems as our own, taking their hopes and expectations as our marching orders, making their priorities our priorities. If we do so, our country will be better for it.
From the swearing in to the Thanksgiving service, this day marked more than a transition. It marks the beginning of a renewed journey, a moment when hope meets action and leadership meets destiny. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, today we celebrate, tomorrow we advance, and together we move forward into a brighter future. This is our new cabinet. This is our new chapter. This is our St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Thank you for staying with us. This country has announced a coordinated push to unlock the full potential of the blue economy, positioning the region as a global leader in sustainable ocean-based growth. The Caribbean, home to some of the world's most valuable marine resources, is accelerating efforts to harness the economic, environmental, and social benefits of its ocean while ensuring long-term sustainability. This renewed focus recognizes the blue economy as a transformative pathway for job creation, climate resilience, food security, innovation, and economic diversification. More in this API interview.
Today we're in the office of Mr. Ellsworth Dakin. He's a project manager here at the UBECT project, and we're here to learn more about this very important project and how it's going to help to impact the lives of Vincentians. Mr. Dakin, of course, Vincentians would hear the word UBEC, but they don't know what it means. What does the acronym for UBEC really means?
So UBEC is actually unleashing the blue economy in the Caribbean.
Awesome.
And really what it's about is focusing. It's a tourism-driven project, focusing on marine life and the environment, coastal protection and so on. And I mean, we could speak more about it as we go on, but that's essentially what the project is about. Awesome. It has been implemented by the Ministry of Tourism. It's a $25 million US project, $15 million allocated for the blue economy itself, and then there's a component called the CIRC, the contingency recovery component, which is 10 million, which is really triggered by a catastrophe.
Okay. As the acronym says, UBEC unleashing the blue economy. We know that the ocean space is a lot of resources there for a lot of different things, such as fisheries, and as you say, it's executed under tourism. Are there any components that deal with, making use of the eco space to attract more visitors to it, so that we can generate funds?
Okay, so let me explain more. Okay, so there are 4 components. There's a component that deals with policy. Policy in the tourism space. So we're looking at the blue economy policy, improving on the blue economy. You're looking at the solid waste policy. So the solid waste management policy was in existence in 2003. So we're looking to update that policy as well. So there's a solid waste component in terms of the policy improvement, and there's perhaps 2 or 3 policy improvement under the blue economy and in tourism space. Then you have component 2. Component 2 is mainly an infrastructure type component, where you see infrastructure improvement within fisheries, infrastructure improvement within various tourism sites. In this particular case, there are some sites allocated in the North Leeward end, which we could speak more about later on. And then there's component 3, which is the CIRC, which is triggered by a catastrophe. It was triggered in this particular case, COVID and the eruption, and that was $10 million. And what this is really is just allowing the government to have immediate access to funds when there's a catastrophe. So the CIRC component really look at food insecurity. You look at farmers, and there's a lot of things that happen under the CIRC. I mean, I have here in front of me, just to give you some insight. We had over 300 farmers trained in irrigation. We had 45,000 chicks delivered to farmers. We had pedigree livestock, sheep, goats. We had feed. We had FADs, which is fish devices. Right now, currently, this place, different parts of St. Vincent and Grenadines in the waters to attract fish, right? Enhance fishing and enhance the catch. We have had beneficiaries of 1,850 in terms of crop enhancement. So the CIRC really took place over 1 year, $10 million, very fast, very urgent procurement, and that ended in March this year. So now we're into 2.5 years of the UBEC. We just about halfway, and we have a lot of work to be completed before it ends. It ends in 2027, but it goes over to 2028, and we have a lot of work to be done. In component 4 is just project management, which is myself as the project manager, and we have a staff, social, environmental, finance manager, and so on. It's the usual staff that comes with most World Bank projects. So that's the component 4.
Awesome. The component that deals with the policy, particularly as it relates to solid waste. We know that within our ocean space, there's always the issue of our waste going out to the ocean, creating pollution, and it degrades the beauty and its value for visitors. Are there any parts of the policy which is already being executed to ensure that the ocean space is kept in nice, clean condition?
Well, okay, so the policy the solid waste policy is looking at, one, trying to roll out garbage separation. As you know, as events, everybody just puts the garbage into one bag. So we're looking to roll this sort of pilot project, perhaps, just to see. I think it will start in Union Island. The landfill in Union Island is saturated, and we're looking to close that landfill and start a pilot project in the Grenadines, and which would eventually move into the larger St. Vincent itself. So that's one of the things in the solid waste policy that we're looking at. We're also looking at enhancing the solid waste management fleet. So we'll procure some equipment for solid waste to help with the landfill and so on, some compactor trucks and so on. So that is really, that component of the project is helping the solid waste. Perhaps just over $3 million in terms of quantum will go to the solid waste. The majority goes to tourism. We have plan, for instance, in Trumka Bay. We have a planned project in Trumka Bay to change the landscape in Trumka Bay. We want to improve the jetty, we want to put some cabanas and make that area within that space a tourism site. We also had, in case of Richmond, to turn it into a recreational area where tourists on their way to perhaps the volcano, they have a area to stop and see our culture and a recreational area. We have had some concerns, more so on the bank side, about Richmond in terms of the environmental concerns, so it's still under scrutiny, but we are moving forward with Richmond. And then we have a dive map for divers to really enhance the diving experience, you know. So when divers come, they could show the digital display of videos of what we have under the surface of the sea, what we have in our waters. We also have an aspect of, we plan to do an underwater museum, sculpture museum. So there's a lot of work that we're planning on the UBEC, on the tourism. So we spend about 14.3 million under the Ministry of Tourism, and we have recently taken under our portfolio under the UBEC the rehabilitation of the Fort Charlotte, and that's a project that we recently received additional financing to complete, additional 2.6 million, and we're hoping to complete this project by next year. So we have, as you know, the Fort Charlotte is one of our main sites for tourism, so we're looking to enhance that.
Awesome. Of course, tourism and blue economy also touches, marine ecosystems, different species, and so on. Mm-hmm. Is there any policy which is going to work with the fishermen to say, okay, let's limit the catch of this particular species because it has great value for the tourism sector?
Right. Yeah. Well, we have some policies that we're looking at protecting the conchs, the spine lobster. We're looking at how do we address the issue of sargassum in our tourism space. We have programs where we train the fisher folks. We have done training under the CERC already, and we have more capacity building within the Ministry of Tourism, within fisheries, within agriculture. Capacity building even within solid waste. So the project is looking, and it's a regional project. I mean, St. Vincent, St. Lucia, and Grenada, and there's a component where the OECS Commission is involved. And currently, under the UBEC, we have 12 recipients of grant, of $25,000 grant. Small businesses, where you have each person $25,000 US given as a grant. You may have an idea where you wanted to enhance your fishing vessel, or you may have a ice business that feeds into tourism value chain, and they will have received through the OECS Commission, also under the UBEC, they were beneficiaries of this grant. Then under that window as well, under what we call the matching grant program, there is also a 200,000 US awardee from St. Vincent who were able to benefit from this grant. And that's on window 1, and then you have window 2, which is same amount. So you have over approximately $2 million of grant funds being available under this component of the UBEC for the OECS Commission. So that's grant, and then you have policy, as I said, in component 1. You have capacity building, and you have infrastructure development.
If you are just joining us, you are viewing a presentation of Iron Government. St. Vincent and the Grenadines Port Authority and Customs and Excise Department is ready for the clearing and processing of a high volume of barrels at the modern port facility in Kingston. This enhanced operational efficiency ensures that Vincentians receive their imported goods, particularly holiday barrels, more quickly and with improved customer service. Since beginning its operations, the modern port has implemented streamlined procedures, upgraded equipment, and increased staffing to accommodate the seasonal urge in barrel arrivals. As a result, clearance times have been significantly reduced and customers have reported smoother and more organized processing experience. Here is more.
Welcome to the St. Vincent and Grenadines Modern Port Operations Company Container Freight Station, where we make your cargo journey smooth, secure, and simple. Whether you're collecting personal cargo or small shipments, our team is here to guide you every step of the way. Step 1. Check in with security and present your shipping documents. Once cleared, collect a number and hand it along with your delivery documents to the operations clerk. Our team will begin locating your cargo right away. Step 2. Our operations team locates your cargo in our tracking system and transfers it to the customs examination area. When your number is called, please make your way to the examination zone for the next step. When entering the examination zone, please use the marked walk paths and do not enter the operational zones. Step 3. During inspection, the customer must unseal their cargo in preparation for examination, after which a customs officer will examine your cargo. After inspection, the cargo must be resealed by the customer before proceeding to the cash desk to pay customs duties and port fees. Keep your receipts safe. You will need them for the final cargo release. Step 4. Once cleared, proceed to the delivery area and present release documents and gate pass. Our staff will assemble your cargo and verify the items before release. After final checks by security, your cargo is loaded safely onto your vehicle. The process ensures your package leaves the port correctly and safely. That's it. Your cargo clearance journey made simple, safe and efficient. Our container freight station team is committed to serving you with professionalism and care from arrival to delivery. Together, we make trade and transport easier for everyone.
With the opening of the new modern port in Kingston, the traffic department of the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force has made several changes to the way the traffic flows on Bay Street and in the vicinity of the Kingston port. In this Agency for Public Information interview, Head of the Traffic Department will take us through the new changes and how motorists should operate in this area.
My name is Pana Brown, Superintendent of Police, Post in Charge Traffic Transport and Garage. Presently I'm standing in the area of Ace, that is on Bay Street, where I'm going to outline to you and update you as to the arrangement with the traffic in respect of the modern port. Now, previously on Bay Street, we had 2 lanes of traffic traveling, one towards the agricultural input warehouse and one towards the Kingston vegetable market. Now we have 2 lanes of traffic traveling towards the Gibson Building Supplies direction and one towards the market direction. Now the 2 lanes of traffic traveling towards the Gibson Building direction is a center lane and we have a southern lane. The center lane is for vehicle traveling and wants to make a right turn onto Higginson Street. And the southern lane is for the traffic who wants to proceed straight down to the port, the entry to the port, or to go to the Nelson Mandela Highway direction. So here we go. 3 lanes of traffic, 1 traveling towards the vegetable market and 2 traveling towards the Gibson Building direction. The center lane is for persons who want to make a right turn onto Higginson Street, and the southern lane is for persons who want to travel towards the port entrance and towards the hospital to Nelson Mandela direction. Now also in the area of the Corrales Lumberyard, we have 2 lanes of traffic, an exit and an entry. One is for vehicles exiting the port and wants to go either to the leeward or to the windward direction. And 2, we have an entry. This also you can gain entry to the port, parking, and the windward bus terminal. Now persons would have asked if I believe that this can ease the congestion of traffic on Bay Street. Yes, it can and will. Before we had 1 lane of traffic traveling in a westerly direction, that's towards the Gibson Building Supplies. And we had a holding lane that could have hold at least 3 vehicles. But now we have a center lane which can hold up to 50 vehicles. Depends on the size of the vehicle. So yes, vehicles traveling towards the entry for the port and towards the hospital, they can travel on the southern lane without any interruption from vehicles in the center lane. So yes, it will help ease the congestion of traffic on Bay Street. When you exit the port via this route, you can either make a left turn and travel on the southern lane or the center lane. The center lane will carry you to Higginson Street and the southern lane will carry you straight down. You can either exit at Queen Street or you enter at Lindley Street and exit on Nelson Mandela Highway. When you exit from here and you make a right turn, you go up to Bedford Street or you can exit on Hillsborough Street. So the congestion that we are anticipating, we are yet to see that. From Upper Bay Street and you want to go on Higginson Street, you occupy this center lane. You occupy the center lane, you drive straight down into the center lane, and when you reach the intersection at Gibson Building Supplies, you make a right turn. If you want to go to the entrance of the new modern port or you want to go to Nelson Mandela Highway, you occupy this lane. You occupy the southern lane and you make your journey down. So for persons who wants to go around on Back Street, just like that, you make your entry into the center lane, and you go straight down. And for persons who want to go straight down to the entrance for the port, you occupy the southern lane. So the traffic is flowing. Morning. The traffic is actually flowing better now with the new arrangement that we have put in place. Melville Street, and go straight across to the port, or you could make a right turn and go down on the center or the southern lane on Bay Street. Likewise, persons who drive up on Bay Street from Randy's direction, you can also make a right turn if you want to go to the port parking or the Windward bus terminal. So we maintain vertical parking in this area. That is at Corrales Pharmacy, Corrales Lumberyard area here. And at the lower end, we have parallel parking to accommodate the 3 lanes of traffic that we have presently on Bay Street. So we maintain vertical parking in this wider area, and we have parallel parking in the area at lower in this area. This is to accommodate the 3 lanes of traffic that we have spoken about. Parallel parking all the way down to Gibson's. One notable change in this area is that with the vertical parking, pedestrians used to have to be rubbing all on the wall in order for them to pass. But we have put the vehicles in such a way that the pedestrians on the sidewalk have more access. So no longer you have to compete with vehicles and the fencing at Corrales. You have a good access where you can walk freely without any interruption from vehicles. Hence, that is why we put the parallel parking in this area. Here at the intersection at Higginson Bay, where there used to be 2 lanes of traffic one going into the Leeward bus terminal and one exiting, we now have 1 lane of traffic. As you can see, there's a no entry sign. We're not allowing vehicles to enter from Bay Street into the Leeward bus terminal. There's a no entry sign here to prevent vehicles entering the Leeward bus terminal from the Bay Street area. This is to accommodate the flow of traffic coming from the port. So we have made this portion of road into a one-way street. Vehicles can only exit and no entry. Likewise, the portion of road on Lower Bay Street here, we also have 3 lanes of traffic. Okay? The center lane is for persons who wishes to travel towards the Nelson Mandela Highway. And the southern lane is for persons traveling from the countryside, from uptown, and wants to go into the Modern Port compound or to the Leeward bus terminal. They can travel on the southern lane and make a left into the entry for the Modern Port compound or on the reclamation site. So you have options here. When you exit the port or from the Leeward bus terminal, you can either turn right, you can go straight ahead, or you can turn left. This has now become a one-way street. Vehicles cannot enter from this side. And you also have the 3 lanes of traffic continue along Lower Bay Street. I hope that persons utilize the lanes to ensure that we haven't misunderstood the direction in which the traffic should flow. So as we see this container pass, we can have a look as to which direction. If you notice, it occupies the center lane It can either go into the port which it is going, in order for you to make the turn. It open and go inside the entry at the modern port. Entry sign that we just placed here to allow us to have some control over the public service transport, or for the vehicles that exit in the Leeward bus terminal. We have some level of control to prevent them from abusing this thoroughfare. So we put a new entry sign here so that when they exit the Leeward bus terminal, they will make a right turn and go onto Bay Street instead of making a left turn and making a circle in this direction, which can also hinder the long vehicles exiting the port. So we have measures in place to curb almost every situation, as I may say. This is the Reclamation Side Public Road, where you have entry to the port and entry to the Leeward, Windward bus terminal, and also the Corries Lumber Yard. Here, this is one of the major exits from the port. This area used to be a two-way traffic, as I said before, but we have restricted to one way for exit only. So only vehicles alone will exit this via this route. So if a vehicle is exiting the port, which is on the far western side of my location, you drive up along the Reclamation Side Public Road. You can make a left here, exit on Bay Street. You can go straight over onto Higginson Street. You could turn left onto Bay Street to go to Nelson Mandela Highway, or you could turn right, driving up Upper Bay Street, exit at Bedford Street or at Higginson Street, or Hillsborough Street, as I may say. So here we have it. We have access to the Leeward bus terminal, the Windward bus terminal, Corries car park, and also exit from the port onto Bay Street in the area of Higginson Street. I'm just asking motorists to comply with the signs, whether they're placed on the surface of the road or on a pole, or they're given by a police officer in uniform. These new arrangements, as I say, they are new and it will take some time. I have asked the officers to exercise some level of patience and caution to motorists while on duty and they're using this portion of the road.
Looking for sun, sea, and culture? Hop on American Airlines from the US to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Easy, breezy, and unforgettable. Let the adventure begin.
And for a final story, 5 Vincentians will soon leave these shores to pursue studies in Romania. The scholarship recipients were introduced to Romania's ambassador to St. Vincent and the Grenadines at a signing ceremony for a memorandum of understanding between SVG and the Bucharest Chambers of Commerce. The signing was held at the Grenadines House on Monday, 24th November 2025.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines' Chamber of Industry and Commerce and Romania's Chamber of Commerce signed a historic Memorandum of Understanding at the Grenadines House Hotel on Monday, 24th November 2025. The atmosphere at the opening ceremony was festive, with both sides pledging commitment to concretize goals that will arise from their trade discussions.
Thank you very much, Mr. Francis, for that beautiful rendition of That's What Friends Are For. As today we are certainly among friends, and the president of the chamber was just saying to me that this is the first time he's hearing the pan music. So please stand by. You'll have to continue playing for us so that he can, by the time he leaves here, he would be very much in love with the pan music and would probably want to come back and learn to play the pan.
I also wish to acknowledge an important group that symbolizes the human connection between our countries, our Vincentian Scholarship recipients, and those of you who would have studied before in Romania. Their academic and cultural experiences stand as living examples of bilateral cooperation in action. They return home with skills, perspectives, friendships that strengthen our national capacity and enrich the ties between our two peoples. As we look ahead, our foreign policy remains clear: to build strategic, mutually beneficial partnerships that support sustainable development, expand opportunities for our citizens, and strengthen our engagement in the global community. These missions contribute meaningfully to that goal, and we look forward to the practical outcomes that would follow in the days ahead. It is my hope that when our teams engage over the coming days, we trust that the discussion will be constructive, forward-looking, and anchored in mutual benefits.
Thank you very much, Madam PS, for setting the tone for the next 2 days. At this time, I wish to invite Her Excellency Theodora Marcea, Ambassador of Romania to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, for her remarks. Ambassador?
This mission reflects Romania's commitment to strengthening bilateral trade and economic collaboration and to creating concrete opportunities for business from both countries. We know that the Chamber of Commerce plays a central role in connecting businesses, facilitating partnerships, and supporting the development of a vibrant private sector. And we believe that your engagement is critical in identifying opportunities for collaboration and creating a framework for sustainable economic growth. The signing of the Memorandum of Understanding between the Chamber of Commerce of our two countries is, from our point of view, a landmark step. It establishes a framework for dialogue, joint projects, and sustainable business cooperation, and we are confident it will open new avenues for practical collaboration. We look forward to fruitful discussion and concrete initiatives that will strengthen people-to-people and economic ties between Romania and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Thank you very much once again for your welcoming support and for welcoming us so nice in your country, as always. Thank you very much. We are feeling like home, you know? Thank you.
Thank you, Ambassador, for your remarks, and we're very happy that you feel like you are at home, because you are indeed at home here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. May I invite at this time the President of the Chamber and Head of the delegation, the Romanian Business Delegation, Mr. Julio Stoclosa, for his remarks.
That's right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Excellencies, Minister, Ambassadors, President of Chamber of Commerce, and dear participants, it's a big honor for me and for our delegation to be here in our country. Very lovely country. We like it very. Only one day we are here, and it is very nice for us to be here. I want to give you some data about our Chamber of Commerce. We are organizing 6 sections, research and development, industry, commerce, services, and tourism. So here we can find good opportunity to work together on all these businesses, because somebody asked me when I came here, which kind of business do you want to do? We want to do multilateral businesses.
The other half. Saturday, I was at the Argyle International Airport, and I had just come off of a flight, and I was standing outside, and the protocol officer who greeted the Romanian delegation came up to me and said, "Your people are here." I said, "Okay, yes."
So nice.
My people are here. My people are here in this room, and I hope that what she meant was this is the start of a relationship which would be concretized to something very meaningful in terms of its impact to our business community and to your members of the Bucharest Chamber. So I want you to welcome my people to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and over the next couple of days we hope to be exchanging ideas, look at possibilities for trade. And I want to say something about that. Like your chamber, we are 100 years old. You're 157?
Right.
We're 100 years old next year. So we've both been around for a long time.
Reporting for the Agency for Public Information, I am Keisha Woodley.
Read, learn, grow. The children are the future. Help them read, learn, grow. Only reading is the key, so help them read, learn, grow. Let's show them how much fun it is to read, learn, grow. So parents, you play a part. First and foremost, reading from so young is advantageous. Link with the teachers. Working hand in hand is a must. Just 10 minutes of your child reading to you is a plus. Get fun books, make reading priority. When children read, they are able to learn, and the more they learn, the more they grow. So parents help the kids read, learn, grow. Reading is fun, kids have to know. Read, learn, grow. The children are the future. Help them read, learn, grow. So parents, you play a part.
This message is brought to you by the OECS USAID Early Learners Program, funded by United States Agency for International Development. For more information, log on to www.oecs.org/ELP.
And with that, we've come to the end of this evening's program. Continue to follow the API's Facebook page, YouTube channel, and local channel 116 for daily, accurate, and informed updates. Join us at 5 p.m. tomorrow evening for our live news update. On behalf of our technical and production teams, thank you for viewing. I am Sylvester Lynch.